So everybody, I want to talk about eBay fraud as we all are just signing a petition against how they continue to let toxic buyers infect the site. And I happen to run into an incredibly toxic buyer at Christmas. Now I decided to make a video to show the different things that I was selling, just to make it easier for people so they could see the actual 3D and whatever. Now these are all little musical toys, and I had a set of three of them. We had more than 24 of each of these when we got them, and these were the last three. We just happened to have them that got mixed up in a box, and they played little music. Now, when you lay them on a flat surface, they actually rocked back and forth, and it was part of the mechanism in here. So when this lady bought one, she asked me a question inside eBay if they rocked, and I went and checked, and she was only asking about the Mickey Mouse, but I happened to check them all to make sure. And so she ended up purchasing all three of them, and they all got shipped together in a box, inside bubble pack in a large box. And it was funny because when I got to the post office, you can't ship in a liquor box, but that was what somebody up here gave me. So we had to cut it inside out, but they put that super strong tape on it, and everything went great. And it was shipped with insurance. So two of the rocking horses were perfect, and this one happened to obviously get jolted and dropped, and it didn't rock anymore. The music on it still worked, but you can see it's absolutely brand new. It's never been used. The tag is still on it. I ripped off the price tag just so that when I even sold them for less than retail. They were retailed at $19.99, and we sold them for $18.99. But anyways, this is, and one of the reasons we have insurance is because if anything breaks, it's insured. I have actually seen shippers just literally toss the boxes, and there's nothing a seller can do. Now, this woman named Tina Bauer has a score of over 1,000 on her thing, but she has filed multiple claims. And she's such a bully and a toxic buyer that no matter what goes wrong, she takes it on the seller, leaves negative feedback, and then travels to a different site to infect the other site. So in my case, instead of just allowing for an insured return, which I filed a claim immediately, and here is the insurance check from the post office for this damaged item. Now, you have to have people return it to make sure that it's damaged. They don't just pay out claims the way they used to. You have to get the item back and make sure it's actually the item that you shipped and whatever, and it's in the right condition. And I had never done an online claim before. I had always had the person go to the post office, show it to them and whatever. Because it was snowing where I live, I wanted to make it faster for her, and I did it online. This did not stop this bully named Tina from going to file for a return on top of the insurance claim. So she actually slowed down this claim, which came the day after her return, because she had filed like a double. You don't file a return and an insurance claim. You just let the insurance claim work. But she's such a bully that she tried to cheat the system and do it. And then she harassed me through 15 messages, everybody, to try to get me to skip the insurance process and then just give her the refund. And she was just such a bully. I talked to eBay and I said, you know what, this is a $19 sale. I'll do it backwards. I've never had to do it that way, but I will. So the item comes back. I gave her more than she paid for it because she was refunded for her shipping because I discounted it because she bought three of them, and the combined shipping, eBay discounted it a little, I discounted a little more. So she even got a refund of higher than what she paid. So she targets my feedback with a negative feedback. But in between all her messages, she assaulted my character, told me this was broken before it left my house. Like, how does she know that? And who in their right mind is going to put an item in a box that doesn't work and ship it somewhere to somebody, to a child for Christmas? and especially when I'm a top-rated seller. So because she went so far over the line in her messages and her targeting me and assaulting my character and bullying me, she actually violated the laws and rules of the internet and defamed my name and reputation on the computer. That gave me license to bring a lawsuit against her. You cannot bully, you cannot defame somebody's name and reputation, but this woman has been abusing the eBay system and they just haven't stopped her. But when we did our investigation in PayPal and in eBay, she's done this a bunch, and she's a toxic traveler through the sites. So we're going to actually use her as an example in the petition, and she's getting sued. Now, she didn't like the fact that she's getting sued because she loves the idea that she can go into the internet and bully because she thinks she's bigger than the law, she owns eBay, and she can tell everybody what to do and be a bully. It just doesn't work that way, especially with the things that she said about me, who she never met and doesn't know, and crossed the line. And so, unfortunately, she's gotten notice that this is what's going to happen to her. So because she got 2 perfect items and 1 that was damaged, she went into my feedback and left 3 sets of negative feedback instead of anything nice about the 2 that worked. And again, this is because she's a bully and she's toxic and she's addicted to doing this. And she doesn't understand this is her resume of her way to travel through the internet and not mine. Now, what's going to happen, because she actually even went too far and brought 2 more sets of negative feedback in the petition that we have for eBay, I'm going to petition that her store is closed and her account is shut down, because this isn't how you operate, and it's abuse of feedback and eBay, and no seller has to put up with it anymore. And she was unaware that there was a petition, but now she's going to be the example in the petition. And again, I'm asking, as a resolution of this petition, when it's finally said and done, which is going into a class action lawsuit, that her store is closed down, or her right to shop on the internet. I don't even think she's a seller. I think she's just a buyer. But that isn't a buyer. That is a person disguised as a buyer that hunts and goes to stores and causes problems when there's something done with their items or anything goes wrong. And she turns into this insane bully. I never had more messages on any return than on hers. And so sadly, she'll be the poster child, but this is not the way the world needs to work in the future. And she made a perfect example of how it has to change. Thank you. And if I were you, I wouldn't have her, as a buyer. But a lot of times everything's on buy it now, and you don't know that anything's coming because they don't say anything to you. They just buy it, and then they cause a problem after the purchase. And that's another thing of why eBay has to handle their toxic buyers like this so that it doesn't happen again. And she's insane enough to think that every transaction that she has, she can cross the line, defame somebody's name, and pay no consequences. But in the real world, it doesn't work that way. And I've already informed her that she's going to be sued, and she never wanted to fix it or remedy it or apologize. She just tripled it by taking the 2 perfect items and then trying to target feedback. And that made her, again, the poster child for the petition. Thank you.